Boom. Yo, what's going on, Matt?
What's
What's
up,
going
Angel?
down?
Good to see you this morning, my friend.
You as well, bro. How's everything going?
Good, man. Been busy. We spent all last week stuck in Clear Lake, apparently, and wasn't expected, I
Yeah.
expected just to have a nice weekend with the family, and the transmission blew up, and then, good news is we were stranded at a nice resort on the lake, so it wasn't that bad.
I was gonna say, man, that as the bad that happened, it still to me it kind of was good because this was supposed to be what, just like a weekend trip?
Yeah, I planned it out. Janelle's birthday was not too long ago, and so I was like, man, I'm gonna give her a nice weekend. We're gonna take the kids up to the lake and stay at a nice resort, and
Yeah.
spend the weekend as a family, just doing fun stuff. And you know, it, it turned out that there was a different plan for us that week. And
Yeah, things always
luckily,
happen like that though.
luckily, it all worked out. It would have been one thing if.
You
For
couldn't do it.
whatever reason, I wasn't able to afford to fix the truck or extend the stay at the resort, or
Yeah.
but we're able to do all that, so it was all good. It just ended up being a wonderful week with the kids and my wife. Sitting in a hot tub with a nice lake view. I mean,
There you
it ended
go.
up, it ended up we made the most of it.
And the weather, how was the weather?
Oh, it's gorgeous. I mean, a little bit chilly, but that's what you expect when you're right there by the water.
I know, man. The weather's been crazy. That's like something that I was just talking this morning with some people about, like how it's hot and then it's cold and then it's windy and then it's not and then it's raining and then it's windy and then it's hot today.
Supposed to be almost 90 degrees on Wednesday.
That's what I'm saying, man. This weather is like so unpredictable. It's like, how do you just plan something? It's just what happens happens.
That's it.
Yeah. So sweet, man. So what you got planned for the week? What's going on?
Just working hard all week long. I mean, we've got to follow up with every new buyer lead that I got over the weekend, and
Yeah.
putting in the work to build the business. We've got events that we're scheduling out that we're trying to really nail down and make neat for the community to come out and enjoy. Um, just the average what we do daily grind. You know what I'm saying?
The daily thing. Yep. That's how it goes. Yeah, man, that's dope. That's something that I need to freshen up on. I need to weed through, my I guess leads or non-leads, whatever they are. Yep. I need to go through them. I need to weed the trees, weed the weeds. And that's something I got to put on a schedule for this week. But this morning started off with a 5 a.m. training with Sekou, my
Yeah,
guy. Man, that thing is off the hook. And
yeah,
anybody who wants in on it, wants in on the training, wants to just grow their business, I promise you, you will benefit greatly from this. So, reach out to me, anyone here in the office really, and we could set you up with that link. It's going to be for the rest of the week and it's free. The first time I did it, I had to pay for it. That was the
right.
crazy thing, was paying for it. And then I would still pay for it till this day, because the first time, that's something that I was trying to explain to Alina. She was like, "You're doing it again?" And I was like, "Yeah," because the first time I did it, I was barely 2 months into the business, and stuff I picked up then, I might not pick up this time, like, or it'll be something different that I pick up this time. You know what I
Right.
mean? So it's just, oh man, it's great. I learned so many things just this morning. Like if I wasn't there, I probably like would be shooting myself in the foot. So
Yeah. The
yeah,
amount of value that Sekou brings across is just insane. The first time that I experienced anything with Sekou Pile was on Live with Leaders back. Nick Krem had done it when the coronavirus first hit. And
mm,
it was just straight up fire, man. I got so much from that. So that's great that you guys are doing that every morning. And, I was so relieved when I came to the office this morning and it wasn't cold and dark and I wasn't the only one here. It was so neat to walk in and you guys were all working on scripts and you guys were all like working on developing your career to be able to become as successful human beings as humanly possible. I thought that was really cool, man.
Yeah, man, it's always a good feeling. Like I kind of, you know how everybody always says, first one in, last one out. That's what you got to
Yeah.
be. I mean, that is to an extent, but when you have other people here with you to where you could work together and figure your stuff out, you know, I can't speak on every brokerage. You know, I initially off the bat signed up with EXP. I don't know outside source how things are in other offices, but here from the jump, you know, the weekly meetings we do, everybody keeping everybody accountable, everything like that. Just it's good every time you come into the office. Like you said, there's days I come into the office and you know people are in the training room doing their thing, or a random person pops in the door and they're like, "Hey, bro, can you help me with this?" And like I do it to you all the time. Like, hey, you know, boom, boom, boom. You know, it's just one of those things, man. It's just so awesome to be able to you know bounce off each other and figure everything out like that. You know.
Yeah, and you know, I've noticed like if you're having a rough morning or something, you know, and you come in and everybody's happy to see you,
Mm,
everybody's like here to support, here
mm,
to help you move forward in whatever you're trying to do, you know, it can change your entire mindset just right off the bat,
mm-hmm.
coming in these doors into this office and working with these people.
Yeah, like how you said about the scripts too. Like when we were working today, like you know, we were here. You pop in, and then like you had input on what was going on with the scripts and a different
Right.
route of how you could, you know, go with the lingo or however it is. And
Yeah.
everybody obviously has to adapt to their own way, their own feeling whenever they're doing scripts and whatnot. You know what I mean? But at the same
Yeah.
time, it could work if what you're doing isn't working, and this person suggests this, and you try it out that way what happened? It might work. Run with it, you know?
You gotta just start. You know, I've noticed with a lot of people, their headspace is so junked up by I'm afraid to push send on my phone.
Mm,
Just do it.
yeah.
If you have a bad experience, at least it was an experience that you can learn from. I
Yes.
mean, that's how I can talk to people about what they need to be doing. I can identify when I see something that needs an adjustment
Yeah.
because I've done it. I've
Right.
messed up. I've made the mistakes. I've learned how to have an effective conversation with somebody, glean the information I need, leave them with the feeling that, okay, this was a great conversation with an expert in his field, you know, and the only way that you're going to become that expert is by making mistakes, my friend.
Right. That's what they always say. Who it was what? Just the last training, failure. You have to fail. You are not going to grow unless you fail. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And one thing that stuck with me from the very beginning was when Steve McCarthy, he threw at me, you know, you got to embrace the suck. You know,
Yeah.
just because you suck right now doesn't mean you suck always or even
Right.
for the rest of that day. If it ain't gonna something somebody else said to me, you know, if it doesn't matter in 5 minutes, then just let it go. It's gonna, you know what I mean? It's one of those
Mhm.
things that you just gotta run through it, hit the nose, get the nose, get the nose, you'll get
Right.
the yes, you know?
And yeah, you know, I mean, you are assuredly going to fail
Right.
at something.
If you
Right.
don't,
So
let me know what you're doing.
control what you're failing at, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Because God forbid you fail at your relationship or you
Mhm.
know, your familial stuff. I would much rather fail at a phone call than fail in an argument or a conversation with somebody in my real life, right? Like
Mhm.
a phone call, I don't know these people. If they tell me, you know, to go to hell or whatever, okay, I'll go in a handbasket. It's not a big deal, right? You just go on to the next phone call
Yeah.
and learn from the one before. You know, what did I do wrong there?
Mhm.
How can I easily talk to the next person, like manipulate your day? You know what I
Mhm.
mean?
Mhm. Yeah, no, I for surely do, man, because that's something that I struggled with at first as well. And I mean, I feel like I kind of talk like I've been doing this for a long time, but man, I just crept up on my first year, and
I know.
just from the beginning till now, it's like so different. And one of my biggest things was not being able to talk at for well, not necessarily talk because I could talk. It's just knowing what to say, you know, and I just had to really dig deep and just realize like I'm not going to know all the answers. I'm not going to be able to respond to everything. So
Yep.
not being afraid to say no, not being afraid to say, let me get that answer for you later. Like that's
Yeah,
something to
that's
me
me.
that, right? Like that's something that really, really has benefited me, because then it's, well, now that I know you need to know that, I need to know that. And now that I know I need to know that, I have this for somebody else. So I
Right.
love, like, I have a client right now, man. She always apologizes for asking me questions. She's
Yeah.
like, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I'm like, no, keep them coming, because you might
Yeah.
ask me something I don't know and I need that question. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. And it's like an opportunity to let your clients know that, okay, I have more work that I can do for you, you
Mm-hmm.
know?
Mm-hmm.
And I love that, if you don't know something, you can just say to a client, hey, I don't know off the top of my head, or
Mm-hmm.
I've never been through this experience. Let me go talk to somebody in my network that has this information. I'll be back with you. What's the best time to call today? 3 or 5 o'clock.
Yep. Yep.
And then move on to the next phone call,
Yeah, for sure, man. That's the biggest thing is like I said, being able to just say it. You know, it's one thing to think about it and be like, oh yeah, maybe I'll tell them I just don't know at the time, or maybe, I'll try it or something. Like, you can't just try a phone call. You got to do it.
Yeah.
You got to put the action in, you got to make it happen. And once you do, the rest of it, like that first one, I feel like the hardest one is like the third, fourth, fifth one. Because like the first three, they're not going to answer anyways. So it's like, all right, let me hit send 3 times. Now when somebody answers, it's like, okay, what do I say now? You know what I mean? So I don't know. That's what's really good about having the team and the support, is being able to piggyback, role play, do all that stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
you could watch YouTube videos all day, man, but
Right.
it's not the same.
It's not. It's not the same as role playing with a real person.
No.
It's not the same as hitting send and talking to a real person. You
Mm-hmm.
know, when I first started, I was so scared, to make that phone call, and I would just have to do it because I had an investor that I was working for,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and he was expecting me to make certain phone calls, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so that's how, for me, it started, was really just like, I have to do this because he wants me to.
Right.
And then, progressively throughout my career, it's been like, well, I have to do this because I want to. And that's a real different kind of switch in mindset, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now, I love it when people answer the phone. I love to talk to them. I love
Mm-hmm.
everything about it. I get discouraged when I'm calling and nobody's answering.
Yeah.
It's the weirdest thing,
They must be at work.
I'm like, what do I do here?
Right.
They don't answer. Well, you leave a message, folks. Like, it's plain and simple. I've gotten more deals out of leaving messages than I ever would have thought that I could.
Right.
People call back. If
Yeah.
they hear the message, they're interested in what you've offered, they will call you back every time. It's a no-brainer. Why wouldn't you do it?
Yep. Yep. And if they don't call back, what happens then? If they don't call you back, what do you do?
Then you follow up with them until they tell you to stop.
My man,
Bottom
that's
line.
every time until they're like, no more, right? You just, man, it's what it is. I think it's just the fear of failure. That's what it boils down to, is people scared to fail. And
Yep.
I mean, anybody who grew up playing sports or doing sports, they know, like, you're not going to make every shot. You're not going to hit every ball. You're not going to, it's just, dude, we're human. We make errors. We make mistakes. And that's what, as an agent, I'm not saying I'm going to screw up a transaction or I'm going to do something, but there are things that are going to get thrown at us that we may not have dealt with on a previous transaction, or
Right.
not having done with it in the 20, 40, 30, however many 150 that people have done. It's just the way things happen. So yeah, man, it's fun. So what's up with the business? How's business going?
Business is good. We
Mhm.
took the week off, so we're back in action. Like I said, just kind of planning some events that are going to be coming up that we'll talk about at a later date.
Yeah.
I've got a huge project that I'm working on. I'm writing a book, so hopefully that'll be done within the next year, and we'll be able to talk about that a little bit more down the line. And we're not there yet, but
But a book?
yeah, a book, bro, it's
Oh,
gonna be fire.
Man,
for
my
sure.
wrist hurts writing notes. I can only imagine writing a book.
Yeah, yeah, it's a different experience, but it's going to be good. I'm really kind of enjoying the path of travel, watching myself,
Mm.
you know, grow up. You know what
And
I mean?
develop.
Like
Yeah,
develop a different skill set, a different mindset, if you will. I mean, it's been a fun experience so far.
right.
So
No,
we
that's
got that,
awesome.
and then we have just this huge, big, hairy, audacious goal for the year that we need to crush. And so yeah, we've just been on fire, just kind of like working as hard as we can to get to
Right.
that goal zone. You know what
That
I'm saying?
that big hairy goal, huh?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
right. I'm glad you touched base on goals, man. That's something that I myself, I don't know if you've read it. Have you read the 12-week year?
No, not yet.
No. Okay. So I'm pretty much done with the book now, but the book itself, man, is it, you know how you get people who at the end of the year they're like, oh man, or the New Year's resolution, they're like, by the
Right.
end of the year, I want to be at this or I want to do this, right?
Mhm.
And they're like, okay, well, January, February, March goes by, and they're like, well, I still got 7 months. So
Yeah.
then it's kind of like, so what I kind of got out of it is how some people do like quarterly goals, right? Every
Right.
quarter, they do every 3 months, they do that. So it's similar, very similar. But I realize that just because of the way our minds work and the mindset behind staying on track, holding yourself accountable, living by the calendar, making the moves the way you do, I set my big, hairy goals 4 months, or what is that? 12 weeks. Is 12 weeks 4 months? I don't know. I'm an agent, but I don't deal with math. Okay, so, but is it 4, 8, 12, 3 months? All right, perfect. 3 months. So we got 3 months, man. And I set some decent sized goals. I'm the boot
Nice.
camp that we're all trying to work together. Trying to
Right.
get that all put together. That's something I want to have dialed in by the end of April, basically. Getting my social media following up. That's something that I set forward to. Uh have done. And then transactions, man. Last year, in the year, I did start later, but I had 11 transactions, right? So almost, well, I started in February technically, so I had one a month, which is cool. Well, I set 10 for my first 3 months of this year. You know what I mean? So it's like those, because by the end of the year, if I stay on track, I'm hitting 40. I'm doing something. Right now, I'm kind of on path. I'm a little behind. I'm not going to lie. I'm sitting at 6 transactions right now, but I need to make that move. And that's something that, the whole 12-week year, man, that thing really, really kept me or made me realize, where I needed to stay, like the path I needed to stay on.
Right.
So that's cool. Just like you said, watching yourself develop, watching yourself, do that by writing the book, setting these goals, whether they're weekly, daily. I know Seiku's trainings this week. So last night I wrote down everything I wanted to have done by the end of the week. And if I hit those goals, great. Hitting that small weekly goal, it's actually going to set me closer to finishing those, quarterly goals or whatever you want to call it,
Right.
12-week year. So, yeah, man, goals are super big. I could
Yeah.
go on forever about goals.
Well, it's just I noticed such a big difference in my business since I started setting goals instead of just like flying by the seat of my pants, which
Mm,
is the way that I started. I was just like, oh, I don't know. I'll
whatever
just
happens, happens.
wake up in the morning and maybe get a transaction today. That's not how things go, folks. Like you have to
Yeah.
set something huge. And this year, instead of setting, I want to cap or I want to hit icon or,
Hmm.
we set the goal, I want to sell a certain amount
Mm,
in real estate.
yeah.
And, if we hit this goal, capping, that's going to happen. Icon, that's going to
Right.
happen.
Right.
Those are all just byproducts of achieving a higher goal,
Right.
and it keeps you motivated. I know last year I was just like, man, I'd really like to cap and I'd really like to make 100 grand.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we did both of those. But what happens is once you hit a goal, what do?
That momentum just
You
starts.
pump, you pump the brakes, man. It's over.
Yep.
Your year's over.
Yep.
Say
Yep.
goodbye to say goodbye to work. You
Yeah.
know, your whole mindset clicks off. And
Yep.
so why not set this huge goal, work as hard and tirelessly as possible at it,
Yep.
and then when your anniversary date comes around, you will have hit it, not
Mm-hmm.
a problem, and now you move on to the next goal. You
Yeah.
know, so I really do. I love annual goals, and then I'll set up like just mental challenges throughout
Throughout.
throughout the
Yep.
year to hit each one. You know.
Yep, yep. Yeah, that's similar. I'm going to be putting out a series of videos, and I'll touch base on that at a later time. But that's another one of the goals that I want to have these videos completed by the end of April as well. And like you said, that those goals, that could be a yearly goal. You know, it's actually, I think 8 or 9 videos. I forget how many I tallied out, but 8 or 9 videos, you know, a sequence. And it's okay, do I do it at the end of the year? That's one video a month, or do I just knock it all out in 4 months and let's do another set of things? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it's, man, it's crazy, that whole goal setting. And you know what I really got it, or who I really got it from, was Steve. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh yeah.
I set my yearly goal and he looked at it and was like, here's a new paper, do it again. So man, I definitely got to applaud him always and every day for,
Like,
you know, keep.
why don't you stretch that out a bit, huh?
Yeah, right. He's all, here, let me lengthen that sheet for you so you can keep adding things on there. Yeah, no, man, I definitely applaud him a lot. So, man, so what's up with these Monday videos? What do you think? What do you want to give the people, or anyone watching, everyone watching? You know, you guys can comment and tell us, you know, things you want to hear or subjects you want us to talk about. But what do you feel you want to do with these videos?
Well, I'm super glad that we finally got a chance to do one.
For sure.
We've been at this planning stage for a little while, you know, and I'm just happy that we were able to get on today. And you know, I think organically it's going to take shape, right?
Yeah.
I do hope that people kind of key in and give us some ideas,
Yeah.
give us some feedback. But you know, I think with live video, especially, keeping it organic and keeping it kind of spontaneous is pretty important.
No, for sure. That's kind of what I was gonna say as well. Just being able to get on here, talk, you know, work our week out, so to say, or work our month out, you know, hold ourselves accountable, putting it online, letting everybody know where we're at, what we're gonna do. I think that's a really big move, big step, you know, and
Yeah.
it's out there for everyone to see. And I mean, we'll tell you anyways. You talk to us in person, we'll let you know, hey, these are my goals. You know, you got what they say, carry it in your pocket. So,
Exactly.
so it's one of those
Frederick
things, man.
said that at Build, man, that he writes all his goals down and puts it in his pocket. Here's my goals, you know, and
Yeah.
that's what you got to do. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm excited to do this consistently too, because
Mm-hmm.
consistency is key.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, we're providing content to the
Mm-hmm.
marketplace. So realistically, how can we fail?
Right. Right. No, I agree, man. Whether it's wanting some help in your business, whether it's, you know, wanting to know about the market, wanting to know about the home buying process, the selling process. I mean, anything that it is that they want, you know, we definitely can provide that for them. And like you said, it organically falling into place or doing what it has to do. I mean, we've been at it, like you said, for a minute. It's been a few weeks where we're like, all right, Monday, all right, Monday, all right, Monday, we're going to do it. And then today you walk in and you're like, hey, bro, you want to go live? I'm like, let's do it. Let me put my mic on.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, bro, that's cool, man. No, this is gonna be fun. This is gonna be good. And I'm excited to keep doing it, especially
Yeah, me too.
Hell yeah. All right. Well, let's wrap this one up. And then what we could do is set some up for next week, whether we do it at 10, maybe 9:39. I guess if in the comments you guys could let us know what you guys want. But if this works, man, we'll probably keep shooting for the same time every week. And
Yeah, I think so.
yeah, it'll work out. So hell yeah, Matt. Well, I'm glad we were able to sit down and talk and make this thing happen. And we'll do it next week.
Thanks, brother.
All right, man. I'll talk to you later.